going in. I gotta put in Gimli's axe, that's hilarious. Finally, my combo piece. Why is that in this pile?
I wonder.
This is the pile of shit that's going in. Why the fuck is that here?
Well, it's going in, clearly.
Clearly. Fuck.
You know, 33 for 5, that's a good rate.
It's time to pay the piper. Hello and welcome back to Thunderstorm. I'm Kaznarious, and with me is Rin
Howdy, howdy.
and Sliv.
I lost my spark.
2 years have passed since our last Magic the Gathering podcast, and boy howdy, has a lot of shit happened. We're here to talk about it.
Yeah, in a very short span of time, we're going to cover about 2 years worth of random bullshit. I think we're after 7 seconds.
So, gentlemen, I guess general feelings on Magic right now. How are we feeling about this game?
I want someone to go
Nobody
before
go
me.
all at once.
I want someone to go before me.
The game operates as a game, and the game is falling apart. This isn't the Magic I grew up on.
I have very mixed feelings about the current state of affairs. There are occasionally things that I really like, things that bring you back to the Magic of old, things that invoke the spirit of the card game that I think is truly the greatest card game ever made. However, there's a lot of things we're going to get into that are very no bueno, that I'm not a fan of, that upset me quite a bit and make me very... I don't want to say worried, and I don't want to say I'm angry. I'm just disappointed.
Yes. Rin being the dad of the channel, we can add Magic the Gathering to the list of people you're disappointed in.
This list is getting pretty long. Kaznarious, Sliv, Magic the Gathering, myself, the Pork Chopper, myself.
So this is actually, despite us all, I think, kind of taking a bit of a break in the past couple of years, I personally this year have gotten into it quite a bit. I've had a work friend that has kind of dragged me over to Commander Nights at a LGS, and it's been very interesting seeing how other people outside of this group play.
Also speak for yourself. I have been involved in some gameplay here and there.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, I am speaking for myself. Of course.
Wait,
I will
you
get to
guys
that.
have time to play the game?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing I find interesting and why I think anyone should go to a Commander night outside of their normal group of friends is just like it is a very interesting thing to see just how people play and the level of restraint or how interesting some of these decks go. Now, I can definitely count on more than my two hands the amount of times a game was won by an infinite combo, which I am still... I don't know how I feel about. I'm still trying to decide how I feel about infinite combos in a game like Commander. But I think that overall it's been a generally good experience, even playing with some of those decks that just, they get their Rube Goldberg machine going and they just do a million different things and then eventually kill you.
Leaping off of the whole seeing other people play thing, something I have liked about Limited is also that you get to see people at all different skill levels kind of all brought to the same level. Everyone's playing with the same kind. Some people might have better pulls, but everyone's playing with the same kind of card pool. You end up seeing how people think when they deck build. You see how people can adapt to a situation where maybe they didn't get the cards they wanted in the color they wanted to run. It is very fascinating seeing that, and also seeing people at all sorts of different skill levels and all sorts of different philosophies and how they play the game. Because you get those people that want to play the big thing because it's funny, or the person who is super try hard at the casual event. You get a little bit of all of it.
Sliv, how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now about this game? It's been a little while since we all played together.
Yeah, it has been a significant period of time since we played together, in a very, very long time. Over a year now since I played in Constructed. Holy crap, it's been over a year.
Brothers, we played as of the time of recording like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know,
Yes,
right?
but I haven't played like Constructed. I haven't went to an LGS or anything in over a year.
Yeah.
So none of that.
You mean limited.
Yeah. Constructed.
Constructed is where
Trust
the
me.
decks you could-
You say limited, I say constructed, tomato, tomato. Basically the same thing,
It's
bros.
basically the same thing. You sit down there, you construct it there. You constructed it at the LGS. That's how that works,
I
right?
construct my deck by shuffling it. All right, so
It's been a while. So, like,
Yeah.
from at least calendar year 2024, I have no idea how good any of the sets were in their actuality. Didn't play Manor, Cowboys, yeah, Squirrel, or oh wow, it's an 80s horror movie for some reason. Why
We're
was
gonna
it an
get there.
80s horror movie for some reason? I don't know. But
We're gonna get there.
Commander's the same. They banned Nadu.
We'll get
Yay.
there too.
We'll get there. It's all part of the process, my friend.
It's all part of the process.
So before we get into Magic, I'm curious. Like, what are you guys thinking of building? Where are we going next for our decks?
Well, there's a couple things here, Kaz. I'm thinking squirrels. Because there
Nice.
was a lot of support in Bloomborough for squirrels. And squirrels are cool. Because they're squirrels. But in addition to squirrels, I think I've finally got enough of a mind, like a headspace around the game. Because, you know, sometimes I'm like that image of like the Wojak getting his head hit with the hammer. And he's like, bleh. That's how I am with this card game.
His
half the
head
time.
becomes a U.
Yeah, his head
Yeah.
becomes me. I think he can finally wrap my head around Obeka and the way her, like, brute chronologist Obeka, not the new Obeka. Fuck the new Obeka. I finally think I have an idea on how the end of turn mechanic works for her. But also, I'm ready to just go big dick all in on a Wooburg Slivers and a Wooburg Tom Bombadil, because that would be rad as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2 Wooburg decks back to back. My mana base is cooked.
Yeah, have fun with that, bud. Those are
Yeah.
some pricey decks you're looking to build, especially slivers. I mean, I think you have some of the really pricey cards already covered for that, but
I
goddamn.
do, and
He's got the commander at the very least.
Yeah.
I do,
but-
but I also have Sliver Masters that you got me for Christmas less than 2 years ago
Oh yeah, and it's just full of a bunch of random slivers.
with
Nice.
my face on them. It's brilliant.
what about you, Ren? What you making?
There are 2 that come to mind. One I want to build for sure is along the same lines as Sliv, a Bloomborough commander, Balin, the Haymaker. I just feel that deck could be a lot of fun. Out of the commanders for Bloomborough that I saw, that was like the one creature I'm like, yeah, I need to build this.
For us and the audience, what does Balin do?
So, Balin's whole thing, you can tap 2 untapped tokens you control, add a mana of any color, tap 3 untapped tokens you control, draw a card, or tap 4 untapped tokens you control and pay 3 1/1 or put 3 1/1 counters on Balin, and then it gets trampled until end of turn. So, it's a deck built around making tokens, using them for mana, using them for drawing, using them for buffing Balin, and eventually hitting really hard. I know that some people have built some meme decks around Balin. I want to go a slightly different direction. I don't particularly want to run 35 Heir Apparents.
Yes, you do.
No, they're expensive.
You'll pull them all back to back to back to back to back.
Ah, yeah. But I do think it seems like a very fun deck to build, and I wish I could get the cool art for it, and it's only like that $200 raised foil, and they don't have the full art any other way, and it kind of makes me sad. I feel like the other one I want to build, though, is I want to build Ivy. Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief. I've been meaning to for a while, or another Fey commander in general. But Ivy's really cool. The whole thing with Ivy is is when you play something that targets one thing, you can have Ivy copy it towards him.
Yeah.
And you can get really silly with it. So because anything that solo targets, you can make Ivy make a copy of. So I believe some enchantments work well with it. Instant sorceries. It's one of those decks I've been thinking for a long time about building, and I think I want to finally pull the trigger on it.
Now you say Ivy, and immediately my mind went to, oh shit, did I miss Universes Beyond Soul Calibur at some point?
No, it's Universes Beyond Batman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Poison Ivy, yeah.
Yeah.
What does Mr. Bombadil do?
Ooh, Tom Bombadil is a Wooburg 4/4 that tells stories. He's Mr. Storyteller. So what he does is, as long as there are 4 more lore counters among sagas I control, Tom Bombadil has hexproof and indestructible. And whenever the final chapter of a saga I control resolves, I just reveal cards to my library until I find another saga card, and I play it for free. And then I put the rest back in my library at the bottom in a random order.
Very direct game plan.
Very direct. Tell story. Make thing happen.
Yeah.
Get free news story.
You might want to take a peek through your Dominaria United bulk. There are some good common and uncommon read ahead sagas. Which you can just immediately tick to 3.
No shit.
And immediately get to play another saga off it.
Yeah.
So you can kind of storm off in a very strange way.
Like, I heard that Tom kind of fizzles out early, but I think I can make him work.
Yeah.
It is again Wooburg, so that mana base is no fun, but yeah, you can be fun.
No fun, but I did pull like a god pack from the one bundle of Modern Horizons 3 I bought. I got 2 fetches in the same pack, and I'm like, yeah, buddy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, with all these, as I've said, I have continuously just encountered people that love assembling their big, dumb Simic Rube Goldberg machines that do a million things and tap their creatures for a million mana, make a million creatures, and do all these a million things. I am very interested in the goad mechanic these days. I am the type of player that if he can set up a combo to win, that's cool, but I am much more interested in the moment to moment chaos of the table. And so I'm looking at Kaima, the Fractured Calm, currently, little side commander from Kamigawa. And that's it's just at the beginning of my end step, goad each creature my opponents control that's enchanted by an aura I control. I put a +1/+1 counter on Kaima for each creature goaded this way. So it is a weird deck that wants to put Kaima out of the field and then have me enchant my opponent's creatures so that they attack each other with them.
And you're getting counters every turn for that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Well, not all of my end steps. But at the same time, there's a lot of really funny cards I've found for this deck. Custody Battle is an enchantment that on your upkeep, enchanted creature has to be given to another player. So if I just slap that bitch on somebody's commander, they have to give their commander to somebody else if I'm really feeling like an asshole. Maybe I do for that one player that, their whole deck is storming off and it's all dependent on their commander. But I love shit like that. I've assembled the deck. I'm going to sleeve it up. I'll see how it plays. I might hate it. I've got another commander on the way if I don't like it. I like causing a little bit of chaos. That's why Emrakul the Promised End is still like the funniest card and like probably my favorite Magic card.
You, Kaznarious, cause chaos?
Yeah. So
You're the guy that made the Krark Sakashima deck. Flip a coin and
that
have a 40-minute turn.
see that was where I wanted this conversation to go next. So last time we all did this, we were like, I'm like, hey, I want to make the Krark deck. Rin wanted to make the Quain deck. Sliv wanted to make the Shieldred deck. Gentlemen, how did those decks turn out? Talk about those decks. Talk about your decks.
I'm
Show me your decks.
I'll
Right
show
now, pull
you.
them out.
I'm gonna put my deck right on the table for you, but Rin
Nice.
can go first.
Unzips deck.
Nice.
I built Quain, and after some mild headaches of realizing I forgot to put the win con into the deck, which is a frequent issue of mine, we got there, and I think it has led to some of the most hilarious games of Magic the Gathering I've played in my entire life. Most notably was a time where I had both Force Fruition and Smothering Tithe on the table
Yeah.
using that deck. And I believe good old Sliv here wanted to actively, and I believe had started to actively climb over the table to kick my ass.
Yep, that's exactly what
Because I
happened.
believe he was playing Krenko and had about 3/4 of his deck in his hand.
Yeah. Good shit.
It was absolutely beautiful. I have no regrets making that deck, other than there are times where I feel like I have to kind of put it on pause because I understand that while it is hilarious, it's not necessarily the game everyone is looking to play every single game. Because
Yeah.
it certainly leads to a very interesting game state when everyone has access to their entire deck at any time, basically.
Yeah. There are definitely some ways that deck can be broken, but at the same time, we've all played games against that deck that have been incredibly fair. Like
Yeah.
I think our last game where I was playing Urza and Sliv was playing um
Children.
Sliv was playing Shieldred and the Nameless Guest was piling Quain and continued to use every fucking removal spell in the book against Shieldred.
Yeah, that's certainly fun, and that's probably one of the only issues I have with my Shieldred deck is that Shieldred, by definition, is a kill on sight commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, that second that thing is even threatening to hit the board, everyone's thinking of how to either counter it or get rid of it. It is
Yeah.
just...
Or get rid of the person piloting it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a single time where Shieldred has died to combat damage. It is always removal or a counter before I get back to like my turn with Shieldred on the board.
Yeah, it pretty much becomes immediate because we know that if that Shieldred sticks around,
It just fucks
we're in
everybody
trouble.
immediately. You want to draw cards? Fuck you. That's what Shieldred says to you.
Yeah, you want to draw a card? That'd be 2 life, please.
Yeah. It's
And
the tax man, and nobody likes the tax man.
Nobody, like, at all. And I know
Yeah.
I'm still like brainstorming ways to make this deck better. Because there are ways to make Shieldred a better deck than the way I have it. But they
Sure.
also kind of cost money. Like Exquisite Blood being a $60 fucking card.
didn't it
Yeah.
like crash in value though?
Nope, it's back.
God damn it.
Thanks, Canadian stores.
What the fuck? Why?
Yeah,
Face-to-face
42 US.
games.
God damn. 52, 54 face to face. God damn. Yeah, this
Yeah.
shit's
Did someone do a buyout?
that's disgusting.
They must have,
I'm
because like
checking
Exquisite
Goldfish.
Blood's been printed like 4 times now, which isn't enough for something that was originally printed in Avacyn Restored. Like, ideally, Exquisite Blood gets reprinted in Innistrad Remastered, but I know that Morrow is a coward and won't do it.
It also wasn't in Innistrad, I don't believe.
Yeah, but Innistrad Remastered is randomly also just reprinting a bunch of cards, apparently.
Well, it was an Avacyn Restore,
we're gonna.
from original Innistrad block.
That's true.
The thing I want to mention about that Shieldred deck is that, notably, even though that commander dies every fucking time it comes out, I feel like you still have board presence.
Yes, I've
Like-
definitely built the deck in a way that Shieldred isn't my crutch.
Yeah,
Like, I don't need the commander out to actually have game presence. The commander being out, and then me hitting one of my game presence cards is kind of like just getting, like, backhanded by William Shatner. But, I don't...
please.
Navidad! You don't need Shieldred out for the deck to actually operate the way I intend it to. Shieldred being out just helps me recoup some health and stay in the game long.
Shieldred, well, more so Shieldred's almost a win con for you.
Almost, yes.
It
Yeah.
causes everyone around you to start bleeding out on the floor.
Yeah.
Yep. Shieldred is a win con if you just pair it up with, anything that makes everyone draw cards, basically.
Yeah.
Which is why a game with the Shieldred deck and the Quain deck out are often,
Awful.
first of all, awful, but second of all, keep fucking happening.
Like, last time I played Shieldred, I didn't hit Cabal Coffers. And that would have been a threat.
I guess I'll talk about how Kirk Sakashima ended up going. I wanted to make this deck. It seemed funny. It seemed fun. It seemed a little weird with its, because I wanted to finally make a spellcasting deck, and I figured, oh hey, I got a little funny thing where if both of them are on the field and I hit one heads and I hit one tails, the spell both happens and then also fizzles and goes back to my hand. And I'm like, okay, that's like infinite spells. Haha. What could go wrong? The turn that never ended was what could go wrong. I found that pretty much the 2 games, I think I actually might have played one game with it. The one fucking game I played with it, I just had so much shit happening on the field, and I was with a bunch of other cards. I was like creating treasures every time I would put down like a 1-mana spell, and just I kept fucking doing it over and over and over. And eventually, having like a 7-minute turn, I'm like, fuck this. Like, I just stopped myself and passed. And like, that was my first experience, like, understanding what the Rube Goldberg machine was and what it's like to pilot a deck like this. And I decided for myself, I kind of hated it. The nameless guest would then go on to pilot that deck and have, I think, a 20-minute turn.
Oh, it was close to 40 minutes.
It was like, that was the point where I knew I fucked up. Like 100, like before I was feeling bad about the deck. After he played it, I'm like, this goes in the trash. Like, I don't ever want to be responsible for making everyone sit down and watch me play solitaire for 7 hours.
Now, Kaz, have you ever thought of putting it back together and bringing it to Commander Night at an LGS?
No, no shot, because I see that all the time. Let me tell you something. Every single time there's somebody who takes the 50-minute turn, everyone else at the table sighs, checks their phone, checks out, and stops giving a fuck. Everyone just waits for them to say, hey, am I dead? Like, how do you kill us? Last Commander Night I went to, I had a person who just continued doing they were using flubs. This fucking toad from Bloomborough. And they were taking like actually like a 20-minute turn. And I was like having full conversations with the other people at my table while this person was, continuously resolving all these things, talking about all these things they're doing. And then we were just like waiting for the moment where they would say, okay, how do you kill me? How do you kill me? Like, are we all dead? And then it's like, no. Let me just keep going through my deck and doing things. By the end of the game, this person had like 5 cards in their deck and no way to win. And they ended up losing because I was using like the fucking Hobbit precon against them. And nobody was taking me seriously. And I had like the stupidest fucking combo. This person that took the 70-minute turn had 3 health left. They killed the guy beside me and the guy in front of me, saved me for last. But I had an enchantment out that whenever I gained life, somebody else would lose life. So I fucking swords to plowshared Sam, I think, giving me 3 life and killing them. Which I think, Hobbit boys stay winning. Am I right or am I right, boys?
Oh yeah.
But yes, I never like being at Commander Night has like taught me just I never want to be that person. Krark Sakashima was the first and hopefully last deck I ever make like that. And that's why I want to experiment with the goad mechanic. I want to cause chaos. I want to ruin plans. I'm not out here sitting in my corner and then beating everyone up with pool noodles in 70 minutes. I just want the big threat. I want everyone to know my dick is on the table and everyone has to deal with it. And this is why Emrakul the Promised End is the best card in Magic. But anyway. Krark Sakashima, it happened. It's in the bin now. Is what it comes down to after all this ranting.
I think the best part of Magic, in my opinion, is the deck building experience. At least for me, I really love deck building and talking about weird cards and the experience of, I don't know, we've had like sit down conversations where we've been like, oh yeah, let's figure out how to make this awful commander work. Like original Stang. We were up for like 6 hours trying to work it, and it was like an 8-card combo, like Mickey Mouse Christmas Land.
Yeah.
Had to make infinite. First step, you make infinite mana.
I forgot that in between the last Magic podcast and this podcast, Kaz built the fucking Stang deck.
Yeah.
Not OG Stang, but a Stang deck.
OG Stang. It is a functional Stang deck. I basically just, you can either go enchantments or artifacts or both with him. I decided to go full artifact with him. It is not that good. Voltron is just generally kind of a shit strat in Commander, unless your commander is like strapped like innately with like big fat protection. Something like Thrun the Troll, or like he always has like fucking indestructible innately. You really need that for a Voltron commander because every fucking time Stang comes out, he inevitably just gets killed by any number of things. But was it a fun deck? It was fun to do the meme. I killed 2 people in 1 turn at one point at Commander Night, so that was hilarious. That's the Stang dream. That's like an achievement unlocked as far as I'm concerned. It's okay. It's just an okay deck. I will probably throw it in the bin. But I'll let you guys pilot it a little bit before I do so.
Yeah, and I'll inevitably probably build them at some point too. I have the card in my binder.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. I just end up always prioritizing other decks over him.
Yeah. He's not particularly good in any way, but god damn it, he's Stang. So we gotta respect them.
Our boy.
It's our boy. It's our boy. Me and Rin did a little bit of Dominaria remastered draft. that was a very good night of Magic. I really enjoyed my time doing that.
Dominaria Remastered is a amazing set for draft. It's amazing for limited. From a gameplay alone perspective, it's awesome. Value is a bit hit or miss if you're in it
Yeah.
for making money off boxes. I've seen people pull like $20 boxes off it.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the financials, but it is so much fun to play limited with it.
Yeah. It was a great time. I don't want to bring it up because I'm sad that Rin didn't get one, but they gave me a fucking cool ass counterspell as the promo card.
What it was, I think I got a dig through time or something.
Oh, it must have been a random thing.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Dig through time's good too. Sliv, didn't you buy some Dominaria?
Oh, I did buy
remastered?
some
Yeah,
Dominaria Remastered.
you
I
did.
recall pulling a bunch of really cool shit out of that. Like, I know I got a Yawgmoth Run Physician.
Oh, nice.
I
That's
got a
good.
Vampiric Tutor. I think I got Mystic Tutor as well.
You know, if you ever build that fucking squirrel deck, I'm pretty sure Yawgmoth is a pretty good card for that.
I think he is.
I think he's all about like sacrificing shitty creatures
Sacrifice
to
a
give
creature,
you.
put a -1/1 counter on one target creature, and then
Yeah,
also draw a card. And it isn't a mana ability; it's health.
yeah.
So I could hypothetically do it 39 times, and I'm fine.
If you're making squirrels, you're inevitably gonna have a million counters or tokens. So Mr.
For
Thran would probably, yeah, Mr. Yawgmoth would probably help out that.
I
Anyway,
also have Factor Fiction, the real cause of the 40-minute turn.
yeah, I want to briefly talk about Fact or Fiction with Sliv because that was a weird day.
Sliv is a fairly indecisive person at times. And when presented with the opportunity to pick from two piles of cardboard, he will sit there for 20 minutes contemplating every decision he's made in his life that led to this exact moment before not knowing which to pick still and continuing to stare at these piles of cardboard.
Ooh,
Then what if
but this one's really good. Ooh,
Yeah, but
but
the
this
thing
one.
is, Factor Fiction is in a deck that I have that is solely based around copying instants and sorceries.
Vanilla,
So if
right?
you and hello, so
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
copy Factor Fiction, I'm sitting there twice.
Jeez. Oh, this card looks so
Uh,
good.
No, and if
Fuck
I had
you,
this other card,
Sliv.
We got one game of Commander in
God damn. In 2 years.
2 years. Some say if you listen closely, you can still hear him hemming and hawing over whether or not he wants to spell
this
one or two.
That's so good. Oh. All right.
yeah, but after Dominaria Remastered, we went straight into Phyrexia. All we won.
Yeah.
You know, the climax to what should have been the best plotline in Magic history.
This wasn't the climax. The next one's climax. This is the
This is the Sweet
crescendo.
Caroline. This is the
Boom.
sorry, this is the touching me, touching you of this little story beat
Yeah.
from Dominaria United to Phyrexia LV1 to be to March of the Machine. Phyrexia pre-release was notable for me because I made 8th place Dave spend like 4 minutes signing a card for me. He signed a land, a fucking Phyrexian mountain for me in a really cool way.
Friend of the channel.
Yeah, I appreciate that he did that for me. That was cool. It looks cool. I love that set. I really do. Those fucking lands are bomb, man.
I think it's a really cool set. I got the world's worst bundle.
Yeah.
Like $5 of value. It was
Damn.
truly atrocious.
Yeah, but Kaz got like the world's best bundle with all the oil slick cards in it, so it made up for your bad one.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't you leave pre-release like some random guy like gave you a pack and it had like fucking Mordrak in it or some shit?
One of the pre-releases I pulled Modrak for like for prizing.
Yeah,
I did two. Yeah, it's Rexia.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about the bundle being shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the pre-release went pretty well because I got like an Elish Norn from it. I got the Mondrak, which I tried to sell to the shop and they wouldn't take because I felt like price was going to crater, and it pretty much stayed the same or went up since then.
Yeah, it went up.
So it all
That
worked
it
out.
went up.
It all worked out. It all worked out for me, which is cool because I actually might have a use for it now. Maybe.
It's
Potentially.
white and it's token synergy. You will find a use for it at some
Yeah.
point in the future, guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the limited environment for it. I think it was fine. I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they brought poison back.
Yeah, in the form of toxic.
Praetors.
Yeah.
Praetors everywhere.
Not
Raiders
just
are all
that,
fun.
like, man, the planet of Phyrexia is so fucking cool, man. All
Oh
these
yeah.
weird ass creatures, this weird techno flesh going on with all these Phyrexian mites and shit. Man, all the artwork of that set was like fucking A+ in my book. I fucking loved Phyrexia.
Oh man, I remember the Phyrexianized planeswalkers with the like the anime
Yeah,
art.
yeah,
Hmm.
that was pretty
They
cool
look
too.
sick. They even
Um,
include some like what ifs for ones that didn't get converted.
I remember the one thing I remember about the Phyrexia storyline the most was like there was this planeswalker named Luca who bonded with animals, and like he went to Phyrexia and they were like, "Hey, Luca, don't fucking bond with that animal, you idiot. Um, he, you will become a fucking Phyrexian." And he's like, "Bet." And he did it, and now he's a fucking completed planeswalker.
And the best part was that he was also incompetent.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking Elish Norn notably like shit on him when like thinking about how she would use him for her own goals.
Yeah, she didn't want. She
Yeah,
just like sent him off somewhere because it's like
yeah.
he's useless to her.
Notably, Tybalt died in that set, and he did not get a fucking Planeswalker card. We did not get completed Tybalt. That's so. Isn't that weird?
It
I
is
feel
a
like
little
that's
weird.
weird.
Now,
Yeah.
hear me out, Kaz. Tybalt's still alive. He's just a cosmic trickster.
Dude, fucking Tyver literally like cut his throat open. No, he like bisected him or some shit.
Yeah, I think he got
He,
ripped in half.
He
he's
got
fine.
ripped in half.
It's Tybalt. He'll be
He
back.
he changed his form into a bisected corpse. Sorry.
We'll get into it soon, but there's a point where the story I completely lose all respect for Magic story in the year 2023.
You say we're building up to like the chorus of Sweet Caroline, but after like the first Sweet Caroline, someone falls down the stairs and they just keep falling. Yeah, because after that we hit March of the Machines. It is a set I notably wanted to do pre-release for, and they ran out of spots at the LGS.
I kind of liked that they made the Phyrexian Praetors into sagas. I thought that part was really cool.
Yes.
I wonder if that would actually fucking synergize with Tom Bombadil.
Yeah. I'm thinking that myself because I know
It
I have a
might.
couple of them.
It might, because cascading, when you cascade, you can do either side of the card. So I wonder, whatever. Might be something to look into. But those, I remember I got the full art shielded one with foil, and that shit was like
Yeah, that
fucking
one was
mint.
rad.
It's a neat set. It's kind of neat that it was all these different planes doing shit, I guess.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's really cool about some of the battles, especially, you had
Yeah.
planes that, for a lot of people, you would expect to be kind of forgotten. Chandelar's mentioned, and no one talks about Chandelar in current year. It's kind of
Yeah.
there's no reason to really bring it up in modern context other than it exists. So it's cool to see it mentioned.
Notably, Coma got completed, um, and then killed, and he was not a card in the set. Again, what the fuck? Giant completed snake, and he's not a fucking legendary creature. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I feel like there's a lot of March of the Machines in general across the board could probably be defined by missed opportunities. There's a lot of
Agreed.
stuff that like they rushed. Like the story was rushed, the some of the ideas were rushed. I feel like it really would have benefited from at least another set to get to the end of the story. Because it
Yeah.
gives more time to flesh out how the invasion goes and how seeing what happens when the Phyrexians win. Obviously, you know what would happen if the Phyrexians won on a plane. They would just turn it into freaking oil city zone or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
New Phyrexia, if you will.
but I feel there was so much missing that could have been delved into a little bit more if they had just taken their time and they weren't so gung ho to get to the end of the story and move on.
You know, to bring up our old video, Sliv notably mentioned something that, March the Machine implied that, the Phyrexians, they won, and this was them, this was like a big ass story, and oh, what happens when the Phyrexians win? And we were all kind of excited for that. And the story, I forget it because I was just so angry about it when it was all coming out, and the sheer stupidity of these quote unquote mastermind characters succumbing to the story, deciding that they were idiots.
And and then they farted out Aftermath 2 weeks later
Yeah.
to wrap everything up in a shit-colored bow.
Boys, what the fuck is an Aftermath booster? It's been a year and I still can't fucking tell you.
It's 5 cards?
So the original Aftermath boosters, because we're going to come back to this, Aftermath boosters were 5-card booster packs, and the whole idea is that it was going to be a super condensed mini set where you would get more cards of value and all this stuff, and it would be the same price as a regular booster pack, and it was dog water. From the moment it was announced, everyone knew it was going to be dog water. It came out, it sucked ass. They made no attempts to vary the booster pack, so people were pulling 3 of one card. It was a miserable experience, highlighted by the fact that there's 1 card of value from the entire set that anyone would ever want, and it just happens to be, I think, modern playable or something on the fringes. It was an unmitigated disaster. No one bought it. Stores were trying to offload it at a huge loss because no one cares. And
Yeah.
it was just plain old bad.
I forgot who I was playing pre-release with. I think I bought pre-release boxes with either you guys or it was me and my now ex-girlfriend. But in the last game, I'm like, okay, loser has to open a fucking a fucking Aftermath booster.
Yeah, and
believe-
I was the loser who had to open up a fucking Aftermath booster.
Yeah,
What a
we were
waste
at
of money.
an LGS kind of near me.
Yeah.
I think we were just playing Commander though. I don't think we were doing a pre-release of anything.
Yeah, I think it was just Commander, but we
No,
may
maybe.
No,
Maybe,
no. It was us 4, and we missed pre-release for March of the
Right.
Machine completely. So we're like, you know what? Let's each get a pre-release kit. We'll do it against each other. We'll do a winners and we'll do a losers bracket.
Ooh.
Guess who lost in losers?
Ultimate loser has to buy the Aftermath booster. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, it wasn't I didn't pull good. That set
One.
didn't have good.
Like I said, 1 card that was playable. 1 playable in a 52 card set. That was atrocious, and it should have never happened. And sadly, very soon we have to talk about it all over again. But we'll get there.
Yeah. Into Middle Earth.
Is it Middle Earth time already?
I believe it is.
Damn.
Yeah, that
Sliv,
sounds
this is
about
what
right.
you
I
were
think
excited for last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
I
last year,
am
but-
I'm a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings and it being a Universes Beyond set. The first one of its kind. It succeeded more than I could have ever imagined. And at least it being in a fantasy setting, it is magic adjacent. So it kind of it feels like a fantasy cardboard card game to play with these cards.
I
Mhm.
feel like with Lord of the Rings, because so much Magic lore already was entrenched in the sort of similar vibe to Tolkien inspired in a lot of ways. I think it helped a lot make it easy to swallow for people. When you look at a Lord of the Rings Magic card, you could see it being an in-universe card in many cases, other than like obviously a named card with a character from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so we're hitting the point already here where we're gonna start seeing Universes Beyond become a big factor and anything going forward realistically. And
Yeah.
even back in the previous recording, we had just finished Brothers War pre-release, which also had Universes Beyond cards in the packs, which is the set you really did not need something to boost sales on.
Yeah.
I still feel like it wasn't really there to boost sales, and then it was just paralleling Optimus and Megatron versus Urza and Mishra.
It was still stupid.
Because Megatron did fuck Optimus Prime's wife. Just like in Magic the Gathering, how Urza got cucked by his brother.
Yeah, I remember that in the Transformers cartoon growing up. I
I
remember
just-
it, like vividly.
Yeah, well, did you watch Transformers 1? It
I just
happened in
wanna
there.
I just want to state for the record, when we recorded that, I was incredibly vitriolic towards Transformers in those packs. Since I have watched Transformers 1, which is a fantastic movie, I've watched a bit of Transformers Prime, which is a fantastic show, and I can tell you, I still don't want fucking Transformers cards in that set. I like these characters. I just wish that this genuine vintage homage, like this homage to vintage Magic, this interesting story when the writers knew what the fuck they were doing, this set full of nostalgia was just that. Was just this contained universe of Urza and Mishra. That's all. And you know, I know I pre-ordered my box back then. In hindsight, maybe a bit of a, maybe a little bit of an overstep. I probably would have enjoyed that box, but I was just done with them. Like, I don't know. It set me off then. It sets me off now. Why?
Yeah. And the worst part is we're going to start seeing it in pretty much every set after
Yes.
this. There's going to be something dumb going on, or Universes Beyond involved in some capacity, or Universes Beyond surrounding it. So we're already hitting the point where we're starting to see problems. It's easier to sidestep at this point in time than it is going to be.
That said, Lord of the Rings. Fantastic set.
Fantastic set.
Just wonderful.
10 out of 10. This is how Universes Beyond should be handled.
Yeah. A nice fantasy set that anyone can enjoy. Gas for pretty much every format that it can be used in. To a point, too much gas, for sure.
Yeah, you do hit the other point where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, there's a lot of amazing cards. The One Ring and Bowmasters
Too
are
much.
every format staples and are starting to get banned in formats because they're too strong, at least the One Ring. And the
Yeah.
One Ring's goddamn like $150 or whatever the hell it is now.
Oh,
I got a feeling
shit.
Bowmasters is coming up next, to be honest with you.
And the worst part is like one of the big issues with Universes Beyond, at least back at this point, is how do you reprint it with like Universes Within? Like you gotta come up with a different item to be the One Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tricky because how do you reprint it with copyright? It becomes a whole thing. So I'm kind of glad it's getting banned now, but it is cool in its own context, even if it is ridiculous as well.
How do we feel about the lottery? How do we feel about that one ring of One Ring?
The one of One Ring.
Yeah.
I think it was a really cool idea. Probably executed in the only way it could be.
I incredibly disagree. I do not like lottery tickets and booster packs. It led to an issue where you had an influx of people who did not care about Magic the Gathering, who did not care about the card game, who did not care even about Lord of the Rings in many cases, who were buying cases and cases and cases of collector boosters like it's goddamn Charlie and the Chocolate Factory trying to get the golden ticket. Just ripping these packs open, throwing out the cards because they didn't get the 1-of-1 ring. I feel that the 1-of-1 ring was an awful idea. I'm just glad that someone got it that can appreciate it.
Yes, I am really
In the
glad.
end, after buying it, but you know.
Yeah, after buying it for $2 million Canadian.
Lottery
American.
ticket, dude.
Lottery ticket, yeah. I'm glad the guy who managed to pull it is like probably enjoying himself now after he sold it to #1 Magic the Gathering fan Post Malone.
Yeah, I don't know. I never want anything like that to show up again.
Now, do you feel this way about all serialized cards, or
I'm not a
just
fan of serialized in general. To an extent, it's less egregious because at least there's more of them. You can
Right.
get the same printing generally, other than like in some cases they only have special art for 500. I think that's really gross, and we're getting that with Innistrad coming up, where the serialized cards will be different art. I think that's gross.
The thing about like the big dick art cards in other trading card games is usually that, well, I say other. In Pokemon, usually, you've got that chase art card that's worth like weirdly hundreds of dollars. And the nice part about that is that it keeps the cost of everything else in the set down. Getting into Pokemon and getting into tournaments and stuff costs like a quarter of what you'd want to pay for a Magic deck. And they still make their money because they have those chase cards for the crazy collectors to get and sell. But it doesn't quite work that way with Magic over the years, it seemed. They've had those chase cards, but the prices never seem to ever go down.
They only go up for whatever ridiculous
Well, I
reason.
think Magic's more susceptible. Well, arguable because Pokemon's a bigger franchise, but I feel almost like investors have had their fingers in Magic for far longer.
Well, that's true. I'll agree with that.
I'm not a big fan of cardboard investors, especially nowadays. But
Yeah,
when we look at like Pokemon, first off, there's more of it. Like you're never gonna see a 1-of-1 ring situation with Pokemon outside of like something really stupid.
The
Like
Professor Oak.
like the first printing, like the first numbered printing of the first Charizard from '96 or something.
the first movie.
The first movie, PSA 10, PSA 1 for first. You do find some stuff like that, and it has led to some weird situations. Buying old Pokemon boosters is disgusting.
Yeah,
Even
like
stuff that's like 2-3 years old is disgusting.
even when like the top card in the set is like $30, the booster pack will be $150. It's so dumb. But going back to Magic, I feel like with Magic, the investors don't want that price to go down. So I feel like more often than not, you'll see people doing the buyouts more quickly. People being very on top of it. The moment anything starts going down in price, pick it up, bring it back up because I want to make a profit on this.
mm-hmm.
Or it went down 5 cents. I gotta buy now because I need one for my deck. I need one for maybe all of my decks because it's a must run in everything. So the secondary version goes down, people will drive it back up in price. With some things, luckily, reprints, if it gets reprinted a bunch, it'll help. But then you see things like Smothering Tide. That's still a pretty expensive card that has been reprinted a lot now. So I think it's just like some people's perception of the card is, well, it's a $40 card, so it has to be a $40 card.
Yeah.
With Pokemon, it's a little bit different because like that chase version is going to be like the rainbow rare full art, or One Piece is going to be the manga art,
I guess
or stuff like that.
I guess part of it is that with Pokemon with a Pokemon, there's only really one format to it. With Magic, you have a bunch of different formats, and depending on a card's usefulness across formats, that would probably also artificially raise its price.
Yeah.
That's why the One Ring is fucking $1 million. It's good in everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want it in Commander, you want it in
Yeah.
Modern, you want it in Legacy and Vintage, because if you aren't running the One Ring, you aren't playing optimally. It is one of the downsides of a unending non-rotating, or of having a lot of unending non-rotating formats or pseudo non-rotating formats, such as Modern or Legacy, Vintage, Commander, Pauper, for crying
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah, the One Ring's great in Pauper, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's great in Pauper. I run 6 in my Pauper decks.
Yeah.
No one ever sees it coming. I'm not allowed in the Pro Tour anymore.
All right, guys, now hear me out. 1 rings in a Sharpie Commander.
All right, guys, now hear me out. Commander Masters.
No, I'm not gonna hear you out.
I forgot Commander Masters existed for a second.
Overpriced garbage. Why?
Notably,
Why?
the first reprint of the Jeweled Lotus.
And it did have reprints of some of the Portal cards, Portal 3 Kingdoms and stuff. However, it's still a bad set.
It had a bit of
yeah.
gas. I bought 1 pack. I got a Toxic Deluge. I'm happy for that. That said, that pack was $20 fucking.
Hell yeah, I got horsemanship.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, bud.
Oh yeah, buddy.
This
Nah.
this was the point where I got priced out. If Obi-Wan like killed my interest in the story, Commander Masters was just like, that was the "this product isn't for you" moment for me. I'm like, okay, well, I $20 for a booster pack. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, no, I can't. Like even now, I can't justify it. I know I've gone to play Commander Masters Limited because someone was cracking a box, so we played it,
Hmm.
and it was a lot of fun. If I was told to pay for it and buy my own packs in, I would not have done it.
Also, you mean Commander Masters Constructed, right?
Yeah, constructed.
God damn it. But yeah, it is just not worth $20 a pack. It comes down to the price. If it wasn't $20 a pack, it would be a great set. And I feel like that's a bit of an issue with Magic occasionally, is like, it's like, oh yeah, this is an amazing set if you were paying $5 a pack for it. Like, why isn't it? Well, because it's premium. Well, what's premium?
Full art. Reprint from 10 years ago that we haven't done.
Great.
Reprint from 20 years ago for some reason.
Great. We have collector boosters. They're $39.99 or whatever, or 25. I don't know what they.
$50.
$50 in some cases.
Definitely.
Like, there we go.
Wasn't
Why
it
does
like
the
4
booster
packs?
be?
4 packs?
It was 4 packs and collector boosters of Double Masters, if I remember correctly, and probably the same for this one, for like $280.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Such a wasted potential of a set because of the financial side of it. Because it didn't have the master set quality.
Mhm.
And even then, I don't... Like, I understand a small premium. I don't understand $25. Well, the next set that came out after this had more gas and it was a regular price booster pack.
Yeah.
That set? Chef's
Wild
kiss. Wilds of Eldraine.
Wilds of
Chef's
Eldraine.
kiss. Beautiful
Such a good
set.
a wonderful set. Love the
One-
flavor of it. Love
Where
the
the fuck is
mechanic.
Garrick? Where was Garrick? Where the fuck is Garrick?
Well,
Kaz's
he's
boy didn't
obviously
show up.
not on Eldraine, Kaz. Get used to it. He'll show up when he shows up.
Where was he? He
Not on
told
Eldraine.
King Kenrith that he'd look after the twins. And here's the twins in this shitty story going balls out on Scooby-Doo dick, just like fucking up the entire plane, getting fucked up by some enchantress or whatever. Garrick's fucking pissing off into the woods with a fucking cold one.
I'm
And a
sorry,
couple boars.
Kaz. Planeswalking doesn't work anymore. You have to go through the Omen path.
Or maybe it does. I don't know. Is he desparked? Is he
Who
dead?
knows?
Who
Who
cares?
knows?
But where was he? I
I
care.
don't know. Like the Omen path opened up
I
underneath his
love
feet, and
him.
he's like, "Oh no, you're inside a car now."
We don't know that. We don't know
We don't
that.
know that yet.
Anyway, this set fucking rocked. Hot damn, those are some reprints.
Yeah,
Love that
the
shit.
bonus sheet was all hits. Even the uncommon ones were good.
Mystic Study, fucking Smothering Tithe, fucking Doubling Season, man. I think we even had Parallel Lives in there. That shit was
We
fire.
got Mouse Token.
Oh yeah, mouse token.
Yo, Mouse Token? No,
Hell
I think
yeah.
that was Rat Token, dude.
No, we also got Mouse Token, bro.
Yo, that's sick.
Yo, cop a look at this Mouse Token.
Oh, dude,
Holy
that's
shit.
a good
That's a
token
Mouse
right there.
Token. Yeah.
Show that mouse token on screen right quick. I'm gonna make you edit a little bit more.
God damn it, guys.
Come on, guys.
But yeah,
what's better,
that's.
Rat Token or Mouse Token?
I mean,
It's
the
Mouse
Rat
Token.
Token's under. That's a Rat Out right there.
Right out.
Rat Out. Did that set
Possible
also have
dreams.
Rat Out? That was Rat Out.
That was right out, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody post Rat Out. Well, I guess Kaz and post Rat Out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God
but all
damn
the
it.
Enchanted Tales slots in this set too were great.
That's what
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
don't-
about. The Enchanted Tales are
Yeah.
freaking amazing.
Yeah, I love how you're just like, man, these fucking tokens. Oh
Meanwhile,
man, I
Kaz
guess
and I are
also
having a
those things were
conversation.
cool too.
Yo, Blood Moon? Doubling season?
Yeah, no,
Blood
it
Moon?
was all sick.
Where the fuck have you been? But yes. And then they had anime arts, and they look cool too.
Yeah, and I believe everything was in the regular booster packs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice. $140 card.
Oof.
Anyway,
Nice.
nice. But yeah,
And then we fall off like a brick after Wilds.
yeah.
Straight into the lost caverns of Dixilon.
Somewhere in here, the Doctor Who Commander decks come out. I can't remember where.
Somewhere in here, Rin managed to get a deal of a lifetime from a parent whose child didn't want like 3 commander decks.
It was 2 of the Doctor Who Commander decks and a bundle of Nuka Penna, and it was $30.
Ooh.
And,
Ooh.
and yeah, the mom was like, yeah, the like uncle bought her kid a bunch of magic stuff, and the kid had no interest and wanted Barbies instead and was really upset. So the Barbie she wanted was $30.
Damn.
So that's what they sold it for to me.
And that's how Rin has a lot of Doctor Who.
Yeah, even though I really did not want any Doctor Who, one can't kick a gift horse in the mouth, you know? Lost Caverns of Ixalan has some decent cards in it. I don't like this set very much for some reason.
Me neither. And you think me being the Timmy I am, pulling out the big monsters and all that would be all about it. I did pre-release. I got one really cool card, and I stayed away from it. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know.
I did try to pull off the Millennium Calendar on 8th place, Dave, at the pre-release. I remember that very vividly. I was close. I did not get the win with it.
Yeah.
It is a very funny card.
You know what this means, right, Rin?
What?
It goes into a commander deck, and you're gonna have to win against us with the Millennium Calendar.
Shit, you're right.
I could do that.
Or you just like trim the edges of the card and put it into your Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It's a Millennium item. It's a Millennium Calendar.
Oh
It's
yeah,
fine.
Millennium Calendar.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how it works. You know, the different cards.
That's how that works.
The eye, the puzzle, the rod, the calendar.
This set also had the Jurassic Park cards in it.
Life found a way. But, hear me out. Not about Jurassic Park, because fuck that shit. The full art lands that came out of Ixalan are amazing.
The full art lands are really cool. Counterpoint to this, they looked very much like the ad cards that were in these packs.
Damn, that's true.
Kinda.
I heard that a lot at pre-release.
Yeah, I kept pulling the lands and thinking it was an ad card. It was a very weird experience. Yeah, just a strange observation I remember from that was that they looked very similar to the ad cards that were in the packs. Otherwise, very cool lands.
Yeah.
I do like it when they do a slightly different style for them and everything.
Yeah, not much to say.
Yeah,
I
not much to
pulled
say.
Gulta. Gulta is
Gultar.
hilarious. Gultar. Gulta's a fucking big ass dinosaur that says, "Hey, put any number of creatures on your hand from your hand onto the battlefield," and that's it. And it's just like it's the Timmy card of all to end all Timmy cards.
I think we got a small break after this. I don't believe anything. I think that was the last set of the year, right?
I
And
think that was the last
was
set
the-
ever made, actually.
Yeah,
It's
that
all
that
over.
was the last set of the year until Ravnica Remastered came out in like what
Oh, man.
January of this year.
Did anyone pull
Yes.
any booster packs for this?
I did not get
I've
any Rav
ended-
Remastered.
I've ended up pulling a couple, like, as gifts and stuff over time.
Yeah.
Man, I love Ravnica, and they just did Ravnica dirty this year. I don't know what happened. I was not feeling remastered.
Yeah, Ixalan was like it for me. That was just like where I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm gonna pivot to Warhammer for that's my primary hobby. You know, they reprinted the Shocklands, I guess, but
Yeah.
Yo, Fibblethip was there.
I don't know. I kind of wanted. I think I wanted to do a pre-release or something, or like an event for this, and it just the timing didn't work out for me. I had other stuff going on,
yeah,
but I've never I've pulled a couple packs of it, and I haven't pulled anything good. And I think the shocks are the only thing of any value from the packs at this, to off the top of my head. And
in
it's I
Dragon's
think
Maze Remastered.
Dragon's
Yeah,
Maze
and Dragons,
remastered.
yeah.
And there are some like
Mhm.
full arts and stuff that I think are good, but they're only in collectors. I think I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, they had anime arts, I'm pretty sure, which they seem to be
Yeah.
doing for like every set now. for
And they
some
did
reason.
like the vintage frames as well.
How did it do retro frame?
They did retro frame.
True. Yeah,
So
they did.
You too could get Is It Guildgate in retro frame.
Yeah, now I'm remembering because I have a
Overall,
few.
yeah, I know. From what I heard, you usually didn't get your money back if you bought a box of this.
Yeah.
Like the returns were like just as bad, if not worse, than Dominaria Remastered.
And I don't believe the gameplay was that great from what I heard. I think it was because it was more of just mashing sets together than curation.
Yo, I missed Handsome Cranko.
Yeah.
No, you missed Weebait Cranko.
It's a shame too, because Ravnica's such a cool plane, and they did it really dirty this year. Are we ready to talk about Karlov Manor and how goddamn atrocious it is?
What
I
set?
guess we are.
The set that I had no knowledge of.
So,
Someone
Karlov
got married,
Manor.
right?
Karlov Manor, to my understanding, is the single worst limited experience most people have ever played in their entire lives.
Yeah.
The mechanics it introduced are confusing to new players. They are confusing to established players. There's a lot to keep track of because you have a bunch of stuff upside down. It's the more morph, but more confusing. It is stronger than morph, but it is more confusing. You had a lot of just like stuff doing weird things, and normally I'll be all for that, but not in good ways. It was very miserable for anyone who played it. And as of this moment, I think there's like two things of any value in the set, and it's the Surveil lands, because they're really good. They're fetchable dual lands that surveil. And I think Slime Against Humanity is randomly worth a bit of money because it's one of those cards you can run any number of in your deck. I know some people got into buying boxes really cheap because they go on sale a lot. And in that case, they might get their money back because of surveillance. But what a miserable set otherwise.
I mean, let's talk about this setting, right? Because this is, at the end of the day, Ravnica.
Yeah, we're going back to Ravnica, and like, I
It's
remember
always been a banger. Like,
yeah. I think
the
my
return
favorite.
to Ravnica, the return to
Yeah.
Ravnica, the guild, Guild Watch or whatever the fuck, Gatewatch.
Yeah, I think my
That shit was
favorite.
fire.
I think my favorite statistic about this set is that there are more, because of this set, there are more detectives on the plane of Ravnica going on in Karlov Manor than there were planeswalkers on the plane during War of the Spark, where all of the planeswalkers were fighting.
God damn it.
It was literally just, wouldn't it be funny if we had a bunch of Magic the Gathering characters and they all wore funny hats? This is also where Jace comes back.
Yeah, but next set they had this set where everyone wore a funny hat.
Yeah, we're gonna get there
I mean,
very soon.
I don't know. Looking at all the sets here, other than Bloomborough, all our core sets they just kind of feel like Magic's become a weird parody of itself.
I mean, a little bit. I think
You know?
that's a very fair criticism of this year in general. I think like we had Karlov Manor. We had immediately after this Thunder Junction, which is once again, wow, wouldn't it be funny if all these planeswalkers and iconic Magic the Gathering characters had funny hats? Except now it's a Western. And I'm all for like old school Westerns. It did not hit at all.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like out of all of us, Ren, you are the target demographic for Outlaws at Thunder Junction.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you hit a lot of issues with Thunder Junction. I did play Thunder Junction Limited.
okay.
And you
You
run
should
into a
restrict
lot.
it.
Well, I hate you all. You run into a lot of issues with Thunder Junction. First off, not necessarily a fan of how they implemented the theme. They didn't go all in with the Western, which is really weird for what they were doing. It was more like making fun of Westerns and just like, haha, cowboy hats. The other issue was you had multiple bonus sheets in the booster packs. Because originally, Outlaws at Thunder Junction was supposed to have an epilogue booster with it.
God damn it.
And epilogue boosters did so badly that they had to scrap it. So now they had to put the cards somewhere. They were already ready to go. So they made a bonus sheet for the regular booster packs, which meant you get one of these epilogue booster cards in your regular pack. And this led to a lot of issues because you had that plus special guests plus all this other stuff. So you had people pulling absolutely cracked packs and just obliterating everyone else in limited. Or you pulled dog water. There was no in between. Your pre-release was determined by what you got on that bonus sheet. Because you get some amazing stuff on that bonus sheet or you get something that's totally unplayable.
It was 2 bonus sheets.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, 'cause,
everyone
like, the special
needed
guests and
breaking
the
news and
breaking-
the big
yeah.
score and special guests.
Awful.
It was better than what I heard Karlov Manor was, not by much though, because it led to a lot of weird blowouty games where if you were winning, you were feeling great. If you were losing, it wasn't necessarily always because you weren't playing optimally or building optimally. You could do everything right and just not have the power to break through. And it was a very bad start to the year.
Yeah.
Also, if we're going through the timeline, around here is when we get, I think just before a lot of this was going on, we got the fun announcement that the secret layers were no longer going to be print to demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, limited printing.
Limited print runs, and they boldly lied to everyone's faces saying it was for the sake of the consumer. No, it'll be so we can ship faster to the end user. It's streamlining the process. No, it means that half the secret layers are going to be eBay exclusives, essentially. People are buying them out like crazy. The wait times are ridiculous. You can get in line first thing, wait for 3 hours, and find out that you don't get them anyway.
Disgusting.
You don't have time to think if any of them are good, because the secret layers this year across the board have been dog water, with one exception.
If you're thinking of the Storm one,
I'm thinking of
believe
Sheldon's
that.
Spellbook.
Oh, that was not printed demand. That was a charity bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
the
bought
one
that.
that really,
Yeah.
the one that was really, really cool in my opinion. That one didn't follow that new model, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It meant that people who wanted to support charity and get these cool cards commemorating the creator of Commander, you could actually get it. I get a little bit mad about some of this stuff, but it's because I'm passionate and I do love this game. It's just when you're facing back to back, just miss and miss and miss and miss. It is very, very annoying.
There's something to be said. The opposite of love isn't hate; it's apathy. If we didn't care about this game, we wouldn't be here. we care about this game. We care about the future of this game. And, you know, when this company very, like, so, like, blatantly lies to us and says that these decisions are for us and not very obviously for people buying out this shit so it can look good for an investor, you should be pissed off. You should feel like you're being bamboozled because you fucking aren't. You're being lied to. It's disgusting.
And the thing is like, for a good while, it's not going to get much better if we're going through the timeline. We get the Miku Super Drop, which
Oh, fuck
went
me.
awful for people who care about Miku. Also, Miku's a weird choice for a secret lair, in my opinion, but the cat's
Well,
out of the
Miku
bag.
was
We
a
can't...
weird choice to partner with Domino's Pizza, but
I mean,
Also,
let's can we break this down, like all the fucking failings of the secret lair? Like,
well, they didn't like release the Domino's Pizza secret lair in
yes,
conjunction with Miku's
Yeah,
secret
absolutely.
lair.
this is
so.
true. I cannot play as Scott from Domino's Pizza. I cannot Scott Max during my game of Commander. No, first of all, how the fuck are we going to have so many amazing anime art cards? And then the Miku secret lair comes out, and like, I swear to God, every card she's on looks janky as fuck.
I know art is subjective. It is. They pick some very interesting choices for the Miku secret lairs.
Just no. I'm so what the fuck?
On top of this, here and to an extent with the Fallout secret lairs, you start to see the booster pack experience with secret lairs because you get a
Yeah.
secret card with each, and some of them are really good and some of them are awful, and they have rarities, of course. So you would have people who ordered a bunch of the Miku secret lair, they get a pile of the bad freaking bonus card, and then there are people who get one secret lair, they get the one bonus card that's amazing, and they sell it for like $300. Same thing happened with Fallout. The Mana Vault is very expensive. Everything else I think is kind of mid comparatively.
Inevitably, yeah. All this does is add more fucking FOMO the next time any secret lair comes out.
Yeah,
Because you're
it's by
gonna have
design,
people who
right?
just want the secret card. Who they just want it, on top of that obvious scarcity that's going to happen. You're just gonna want people that want to see if they can crack the secret card that's worth $300 fucking dollars.
We hit a very interesting set next. We hit Modern Horizons 3. A Modern Horizons set with dedicated commander decks, which
That's a decision.
was a bold decision. It would have been cool if we got like modern decks, but
Modern
obviously
decks in the Modern Horizons set.
yeah,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
that's gonna be
that
too
would
much
cost
money.
like $500 each, man.
Yeah, because modern is impossible to buy into. It also rotated modern. Every deck you need to run Modern Horizons 3 cards. Those are like all the meta, like to be top of the meta, you run Modern Horizons 3. This set leads to one of the biggest blunders of the year with Nadu. Nadu was a mistake, and we would find out that Nadu was legitimately a mistake, where they altered the card because they wanted it to be better for Commander. And then they didn't playtest it. Nadu broke every format. Nadu didn't just break every format, Nadu broke every single format in a very unfun way, where people were taking 40-minute turns at Pro Tours. It had the highest win rate of any card in modern history, period. It appeared in more decks than any other, period. It was hilarious.
Fucking
How
Simic.
short-sighted. Every time.
Every
Those
fucking
freaking Simic
time.
players. Goddamn versus Oko. Now it's Nadu. So Nadu, who was altered to be better in Commander, ended up getting banned everywhere by the end of the year. It is not legal in any format, which means that the Nadus that were like $20 are now $2. I ended up pulling one fairly recently,
Oh, nice.
which was hilarious.
Don't worry, they might ban him in 20 years, like they just did to Splinter Twin.
That's a little bit different. People were thinking Splinter Twin could come off for a while. No one's gonna unban Nadu. He creates very unfun games that you can't really interact with, that just are miserable.
At least off the slap in the face that was Modern Horizons 3 came animals.
No, we have a stop on the way there because I get to rant about freaking Beyond boosters or the freaking epilogue
Assassin's
boosters again.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed comes out next, which
Oh,
is using
dear.
which is using the Beyond boosters, which are modified epilogue boosters because they had a correct course. Assassin's Creed is a mini set. It has 7 card boosters instead of 5 card boosters, or instead of full 15 card boosters. I don't know many people who are into Assassin's Creed. However, the Assassin's Creed cards were straight to modern, which means they were kind of pushing you towards playing modern with these cards. However, you can't really build a deck with these Assassin's Creed cards, despite the fact a lot of the cards mention Commander. If you just buy a bunch of packs, you're not going to be able to build a Commander deck without buying outside cards. I watched the Professor's Worst of video literally earlier today, and he talked about this. There's no one this set is for, because if you're an Assassin's Creed fan looking to get into Magic, what is here for you? If you're an established player, there's no reason to buy into Assassin's Creed. If you're just an Assassin's Creed fan, realistically, there's not a ton. Like, you might want, like, what, the Ezio? Like,
Now speaking about like Universes Beyond and me just scrolling through this
Yeah.
stuff here, because Assassin's Creed kind of takes from world histories and religions. And up and coming, we have the gloriousness that is the Marvel Universes Beyond sets. Gross. 2 Mjolnirs. I wonder how they're gonna handle that, because somebody's gonna make a big fucking stink about it.
probably.
I guess I now have to ask: is this a set? Is this too far for you guys? Is this a line?
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. Is Assassin's Creed for you a reasonable Universes Beyond set?
No.
Or should I say a universe to put into Magic?
Like, I wouldn't want it in Magic. It's in Magic. But
yeah, we can't do much about it now, but
yeah, you can't do too much about it now.
I don't like Assassin's Creed in Magic. I think it's very strange to know that there's Leonardo da Vinci as a card you can play against someone.
Yeah, but don't forget, in the Assassin's Creed universe, like, angel alien thingamadoodles, like, had a secret society and this and that, and Earth
Still.
is children of them, and it's just like it's a weird sci-fi stuff, but I still don't feel it fits with like the fantasy that is Magic the Gathering.
No, it doesn't fit in at all, in my opinion, and I don't know. Something about the whole thing just left me feeling gross. Probably the Beyond boosters was the biggest factor. Why was this not a set of Commander decks?
Yeah, 4 commander decks would have been fine.
Like, yeah, it still would be a stretch, and I still wouldn't be thrilled about it. But at least then, if you're an Assassin's Creed casual player, you could pick up an Assassin's Creed deck and play Assassin's Creed against other people.
Yeah.
If you buy a bunch of boosters of this, you can't build shit. You can't build a full Commander deck. You can't build a full modern. God forbid you try to build a full modern deck out of this. You got to buy something else. It's a terrible introduction for a new player. Silver lining around this point, all formats banned attractions and stickers.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh man, Unfinity.
What a thing that was.
So, if we have time, I'd like to tell a little Unfinity story.
Go for it.
Of how I got my favorite land card. When I found out that Unfinity had these booster boxes that had a guaranteed promo card that was one of these shock lands, I'm like, damn, bro. I want one of them. But I also don't want to buy a booster box. So what I would do is I'd go to like a bunch of conspiracy comics in my area, and pretty much all of them where I'd say like, hey, I noticed you got like an unopened box of Unfinity that inevitably no one would want. If I bought one pack from that, would you mind if if I got the promo from that too, and they'd always tell me no when the first two I checked. But eventually I found this one, and I was going there with my girlfriend at the time. And I started talking to this girl at the counter about Chainsaw Man for like 7 minutes, where we'd like geek out about the show. And I was like really, really talking to her. Ex-girlfriend was like, I don't know, looking around or some shit, trying not to pay attention to the conversation. I'm like, hey, by the way, that box of cards over there, I think there might be a promo or something in it. If I buy a pack off you, you mind throwing that my way? She's like, oh yeah, totally, man. In fact, I think I got another one of those stupid promo cards here. My boss wanted me to hang on to it, but you can have this one too. And so I bought a $15 booster pack and left with two full art shocks. And I'm pretty sure my ex-girlfriend right after that was like, give me fucking one of those, asshole. Um,
You are responsible for an employee getting in a lot of trouble.
yeah, I probably am.
Oh man.
And now I will never not look at that overgrown tomb and think of that story now.
The fun thing about these stickers in Infinity, Wizards believed that it would be fine because realistically, none of those sticker cards would be meta relevant. And then one of them was meta relevant in Vintage, which meant that everyone had to carry a sticker deck. It was Blank Goblin. It was Mind Goblin. The whole thing was kind of funny, and that's part of why I believe it was banned. The whole mechanic got banned in the end. It's the same with the attractions.
Thank fuck.
Yeah, thank God. I'm never going to play Vintage or Legacy, but good for those 6 people that can afford it. And I'm kind of glad it's not Commander because I don't have to worry about sticker decks, frankly. Oh man.
I feel like at some point I would have wanted to run one just so I could put a sticker on somebody's card.
No, it says put it on the card. I gotta pull it out of the sleeve, bro.
That's the rule. If you take more than like 2 minutes on your turn, I am legally allowed to use a sticker card on your card and put like a sticker on your commander or some shit.
So, Rin,
Yes.
why was Ral Zarek an otter?
Oh, we're hitting Bloomborough? I love Bloomborough. Oh man.
Ubero's fucking rad.
Dude, I'm going from mildly angry and disappointed to like loving life again.
This is the Secret of Nim set that everyone needed.
Oh, it's more
His
Redwall.
smile and
This is the
confidence.
Redwall set everyone needed. Then
Dude.
this is the Silver Wing set everybody needed.
Dude, I was so miserable for most of the year with sets coming out. And then Bloomborough came along and it just stole my heart. I love it. It is fun to play. It has a fun limited. I like the cards in it. I see a lot of things I can build with in current decks and decks I want to build with it. I love the artwork. I pre-ordered a bundle. I never pre-order anything for Magic. I love little critters. I love so much about this set. It is so much of just a return to form, right? That breathing in of life and just almost that that magical feeling that you'd get with real fantasy Magic sets.
This was the most Magic set of the year.
By a country mile. I loved it. I've seen people say it's probably one of their favorite sets, period. I am one of them. I love it. It has some good playables, but there are not so many of the sets bought out everywhere. Commander decks are all fun.
Garrick's a badger.
Garrick's a badger.
Yeah.
Garrick
He's
showed
back.
up.
He's back, just non-canon.
Oh yeah, it's non-canon, but Garrick Cursed Huntsman has a card which implied that at some point between having the curse and going to Eldraine, he showed up on Bloomborough to, I don't know, freak the fuck out for a little bit and then fucked off, I guess.
Dude, 3 Tree City is such a good card.
Yeah. Oh man, I need to get a couple copies of it at some point. They're pretty expensive though. They're like $30,
Yeah.
I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But man, I love this set. I want to get some of the. You can get deck boxes that have some of the Bloomborough art on them, and they're super cool. I want to get one at some point. But yeah, no, I think My only regret at Bloomborough is we didn't stay there for a second set. Such a missed opportunity. It got new players into the game. It got people because it was beginner friendly and like anyone could kind of understand and enjoy the simple fantasy of it. Ah,
Did we get a new loot tree?
we did not.
Garbage set.
But we got plenty of ottles to play with though.
Plenty
The little lads.
Little fucker stole my Mega Man.
I
there's
didn't
a
get to do as much pre-release as I wanted to at Bloomborough, but I got to do one, which was a lot of fun. We need more of it.
Yeah.
And sadly, the way things are going, that might be the last hurrah of that kind of set. Feels like, at least for a long time.
Yeah.
And that bums me out.
Yo, shit. There's a card called Jacked Rabbit.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. He's in one of the commander decks. He's actually just a freaking swole rabbit. Literally the next day we get the release of Mystery Booster 2.
God damn.
which
Guess we
none
do.
of us have been able to play, but it seems really goddamn cool.
I just like that Mystery Booster 2 gave us the card Indicate, which means that
You
confirmed that WotC creators scour Magic the Circle Jerking for content in future cards.
Oh, there's some really funny reference cards in Mystery
Yeah.
Booster 2. It's such a shame that it's near unobtainium unless you got the festival in a box or we're at MagicCon Vegas.
Yeah. No.
Because you had the Future Sight border cards are sick. Reusing some really old artwork for Urza and Gix. Whiteout, which was just had no card art, which was really funny. They reprinted the objectively best artwork for Forest Bears in the
Nice.
Future Sight border. It's the Portal 3 Kingdoms one, where he looks like he just got caught doing something he shouldn't have. Such a cool set. It's a shame that we probably will never get to play it.
But don't worry, Rin. Packed away somewhere, I still have a box of Mystery Booster 1 unopened.
Ooh, I look forward to that day. That seems like a lot of fun. Mystery Booster 1, I've heard, is very fun to play limited. Or constructed, as you assholes keep calling it.
I didn't want to say it. He said it. He said it. All right.
Since we're still on our spiral of madness, Duskmorn. Why? Why the set?
Why the set? I don't know. It's kind of cool, I guess.
It's neat. Like the idea that the entire plane is located inside this one house is neat.
Oh, it's a gimmick. It feels very gimmicky in a year of gimmicks.
It is.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan.
Like I like the art on a lot of the cards because it is very like early 2000s Magic. Like Abominations kind of deal. I love that on my cards. But just the idea of like ladies horror, it's okay, but
I think
like,
it
we don't
dodges
need
some
a
of the
TV and like a Walkman and a chainsaw. And...
I think it dodges some of the issues that Outlaws and Karlov had, just because there is some fantasy inspired artwork going on.
Yeah,
because you have the familiars and stuff who are very cute. You have stuff like that going on. You have some element of fantasy. It's not just these characters wearing funny hats.
well, there's
And
apparently
it's a lot of fun to play. I haven't had a lot of time to play Duskmorn, but I've heard it's actually worth playing to an extent. We're gonna jump around the timeline a little bit. Right before this, like literally less than a week, we have the Commander's Rule Committee bannings of Dockside Extortionist, Jewel Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Nadu. And I'm not going to stay on it for very long, I don't think, before we move on.
Well, to be fair, they deserve to be banned.
I owned all of those cards minus Nadu, I think. I never put Jeweled Lotus into a deck, and I had two of them. Because I thought it was innately unfair and would just, I don't know, that degree of fast mana, I felt just like getting my commander at turn 1 was kind of boring to me. I'm not out here trying to fucking play CDH or any shit like that.
The Krark deck said otherwise.
Well, there's a reason I'm not playing the Krark deck anymore. Now it's
Yeah.
there.
Maybe a little bit.
We've mogged on cardboard investors now and then. Is it a little silly to invest in cardboard? Yes. Do I dislike them for making booster boxes inherently awful to get in the future? Yes. I think this was the point where I genuinely had to say, go fuck yourselves, with just this massive tidal wave of cardboard investors losing their fucking minds because their investment went to shit.
Yeah,
That is so unfair and childish.
it is a card game at the
Yes.
end of the day.
It's fucking
People-
cardboard, you assholes.
People should not have to fear for their actual lives for any reason to do with cardboard. And as a
Yeah.
result, now Wizards has taken over for the Commander's Rule Committee because they felt their lives were in danger, and it's disgusting that had to happen. As simple as that.
You know, I don't know. I'm sure it's been brought up before, but like Wizards did this on purpose. There was a reason they fucking re-released Jeweled Lotus and Commander Masters and Dockside not too long before this happened. It was the rules committee probably thought, hey, these are really oppressive cards. And Wizards was like, sure, we can ban
Well,
them, but
they
let's
were-
get out that.
They were entirely separate entities. Commander's Rule Committee had no idea about what Wizards was doing. And Wizards was completely separate from the Rules Committee and discussions.
Mhm.
However, what had happened was Wizards was purposefully keeping these prices up on these cards in order to have them as premier cards to sell packs. It's why Jeweled Lotus was on the cover of Commander Masters, for God's sake. They know what they have, and they want to keep those values up, so they limited print these cards, and it has led to this boiling point where they had to get banned. Obviously, they had to get banned. I think the game is better for having these cards banned.
Yeah.
Sadly, because the prices were so high, people ended up feeling like they were personally slighted, which is unfair to the people who were running the rules committee. Absolutely ridiculous behavior from people.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, again, you say the rules committee and Wizards were two separate entities. Yeah, they were, but I can almost guarantee the time frame of when these cards were banned was dictated by Wizards. Like,
No, that was the whole thing about the rules committee, was that the rules committee was an entirely separate entity. It was community run. So that way, no matter what changed in the card game, we always had a community run format in the form of Commander, the most popular format. It was one of the biggest wins that the community had, was that no matter what would happen, we had a rules committee that when things needed to get done, they would get done. While maybe they necessarily didn't always make the best decisions or the most timely ones, they were always an entirely separate entity without any control from Wizards of the Coast and without any of Wizards' input. They didn't give Wizards heads up or anything.
if that's what they said, that's what they said. I'm gonna keep my tinfoil hat on. Either way, nobody deserves that type of harassment.
No. Also, I'm just gonna add and say it. If Wizards ever unbans any of these 4 cards, they are cowards.
Yeah, real shit. Real shit.
I don't want to see any of those 4 cards ever come off the Commander ban list.
I'm a little concerned now that they're running it. Not gonna fucking lie.
Yeah, no, I mean, pisses me off that it came to that, and it was what had to be done. I felt like it was worth mentioning because it was a big thing that happened this year, even if it sucks.
Yeah. No.
Right around Duskmorn's pre-release, I went to the Face tour. I'm trying to turn it back into positive talk because we kind of went into a downer. I went to the Face tour Toronto. I did the same thing 2023 for HashUpCon. We mentioned 8th Place Dave earlier. This is his little sub event he runs at the Face tour. I think for you gentlemen, if you ever have an opportunity to go to a face-to-face tour, they're a lot of fun. It gives an opportunity to play with a lot of different people. Everyone's always super friendly. You have an opportunity to buy cardboard, which, all things considered is a bit of an addiction across the board for us. And HashupCon itself is a lot of fun. It's chaos sealed. The first year I did it, back in 2023, it was just regular chaos sealed. I think there was like one collector and one mystery booster in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a bunch of other regular boosters from around that time. And then 2024, it was collector chaos mystery sealed, which was substantially more expensive to get into, but it was still a lot of fun. The whole, like, I'm in the 8th Place Dave Discord server, and a bunch of the community came out. Some people flew in. It was a lot of fun getting to do that event and meet some people and talk to some people that I only know online mainly. One dude got kicked out for trying to steal the 69 sign right in front of an organizer by accident, while gloating that he had stolen the 69 sign from multiple other shows at that point. He had gotten away with it twice, I believe, at that point, and he was going for the hat trick, and he just like was gloating and putting it in his bag right as an organizer rounded the corner and saw him do it and went, okay, take it out. And then they were still chill about it. Like later on in the evening, they like someone had said like, look, like clearly you understand that you screwed up. If you want to come back, you can. And he said, no, I gotta take this. Like, that was my B. It was a lot of fun. Both HashupCons were a lot of fun. HashupCon 2024 was fun because there were some technical issues, which led to me getting 3-0 wins. And yeah, I won like randomly hundreds of dollars and stuff, which is awesome when you're someone who's chronically tight on cash. So I got like a new commander deck and a bunch of stuff. But yeah, super fun to go. There's always side events going on. There was like an after party with another chaos sealed draft going on, or you could just like take the packs and keep them.
And
Got
at
to
the
pull
end of the
some
day, isn't that what it's all about? The goddamn gathering.
goddamn gathering. We found the gathering. I had a blast. I just wish my car didn't break down at the end of the second day. That would have been freaking sick.
Yeah, that would have been rad.
Not necessarily magic related, but
Hey, speaking of cars, Aether Drift is coming out next year.
Oh god.
Yeah, but before we get there, we
Okay.
have to build a good foundation.
Fuck.
Yeah, we have one more set, and it's a good set. We have Foundations.
It's an amazing set.
Foundations is sick. I want to play some Foundations.
Dude, Jumpstart.
Foundations is
Jumpstart was gas.
Foundations is an excellent jumping off point for new players. And the fact that Foundations, they're saying, and I'm taking it with a grain of salt, that it's going to be around until 2029. Like, at least we're not getting a core set every year where it's just, okay, core would probably be good for standard. But this is just good for getting new players into the game.
This is core set on crack.
Yeah,
And I'm all for it. It is
Yeah.
it seems like so much fun. The packs all have something worth playing, but not in the same way Modern Horizons 3 did.
I'm gonna throw it out there, like, once again, finally we have another good Jumpstart pack. We have some good gas in those Jumpstart packs with cool anime arts and shit. I've played 2 games of Jumpstart with 2 different people, and I had a pretty good time with them. I'm glad they're not fucking making stupid shit Jumpstarts like they were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They
Oh my
they
god.
seem to
Yeah.
just it's just round the fucking clock home runs with Foundations, and that's awesome.
Oh yeah, even like the starter kits have value for people who are established players, or give a great starting point for a new player. It is just, it feels like there are 2 different worlds going on within WotC, and one of them wants to make really cool shit, and the other one is snorting
Secret
coke
lair.
off the back of a bathtub
Yeah.
or a friggin' truck stop toilet. Like, I don't know what's going on, but whoever's doing the Bloomberg and Foundation stuff, they need to be in a better position of power to keep making cool stuff, because we need more of it.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
you
don't
wanna do it
want
anymore?
any more unsolicited dick pic secret lair that's gonna sell out in like 2 seconds or wherever the fuck. Give me more of this.
Yeah, just fun celebrations of the game, or fantasy, or it's a shame we're getting race cars next. We're getting wacky races.
Yeah. So
Oh no, Chandra's doing the Akira thing.
Now we're looking at 2025. I got something to say. That's that, comparing this to our last video, we left it coming out of Magic 30 feeling pretty shit, but kind of feeling like the next year was going to be all right. Like 2023 was going to be solid either way. This, I feel like we're coming out of a really wonky year and, aether drifting into second gear of whatever the fuck the rest of Magic the Gathering is going to become.
At
We're
least
slipping second and driving off the freaking overpass.
Yeah. So I just want to say I have put in a bunch of I have traded in a bunch of Magic cards because I give a shit about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is tied for my favorite video game franchise. I want to walk in day one and say, "Give me one of everything." If that gives you a picture as to how many cards I've traded in and the value of those cards for this Final Fantasy set. And I figured this could be like a 2023, looking at 2023 situation where Sliv was really excited for Lord of the Rings. I would be really excited for Final Fantasy. And, 1 Universes Beyond set then, everyone was kind of feeling it. The rest of the year was still good. Magic had its main core lore straight at the time. We were feeling it. And now I feel like everyone is just so fucking done with Universes Beyond. Everyone is concerned for the irreparable damage that all of these different things going into Magic is inevitably going to cause. And so now I'm kind of left asking the question, is Magic anymore? Is Magic becoming Rise Schwarz?
Magic is becoming Fortnite.
That's a better comparison.
Yeah.
It is a very tricky time to like this game.
Yeah.
Because going forward, it'll be 50-50 split. There's going to be more sets than ever when we're already having fatigue.
Like, the Magic side of things looks like it's going to be great. Throwing their drift off the highway. Like, forget about that. We got Tarkir coming. We got Lorwyn coming. We got Arcavios coming.
We lost Lorwyn in 2025 for a third Universes Beyond set.
We do. It's coming in 2026 now. Because, we need Spider-Man.
Hey man, that could be pushed to 2027. Final Fantasy got pushed a year back.
I just can't find myself getting excited until I've seen everything from a regular Magic set, and I struggle to find enjoyment in Universes Beyond now out of principle.
Yeah.
I initially thought Final Fantasy was kind of a cool idea because it fit in better, like Lord of the Rings did to an extent, with the worlds of Magic. But I asked the question, do I support one of the Universes Beyond when I don't want more of that product? But at the same time, I got to engage with it. I know that I don't particularly care about playing with Spider-Man in my Commander decks, but I know other people will, which means I now have to. It's now an integral part of the game. It's never going anywhere. I know that SpongeBob SquarePants is going to be a part of Magic the Gathering. I can't change anything about that. I hate to see the erosion of the identity of the game that did not need this to succeed. I feel like this is just they went to the wall and went, look, we keep making money get bigger, but we can't keep making money get bigger anymore because we've hit the limit of what we can reach. We can't get any more money from the players. Well, what do? Well, we expand the play base by making it Fortnite. Because I'm sure whenever this idea came out, everyone still liked crossovers. And maybe short term it might succeed. I'm sure some properties will bring more people than others. But how many of them are going to be Assassin's Creed where no one really buys it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part that I feel like I'm left asking the question, what is the like Venn diagram of people that like Assassin's Creed to people that are interested in magic stuff? I mean, part of the reason that set failed was because it wasn't really a set, it was
Yeah.
shit boosters. These are
Yeah,
all supposedly
full
sets.
sets.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
might change the trajectory of their success, but
And
I
we
don't
could
know.
see that the universes beyond set have a lot of power creep to justify people who aren't interested having to buy them.
Yeah.
I'm really scared we're gonna see in every format must play from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider Pork or whatever the fuck is literally going to be standard, like,
Legacy
oh,
viable, like
legacy viable. In fact, it has to go in all of your legacy decks.
All right,
that's
guys. Now, hear me out. Spidey sense and is it as an enchantment that lets you play sorceries at instant speed.
I don't think that would be good enough for vintage, but I could see it existing.
I
But
feel
I think
like
that's
a
more something
card
that
with
would do
that effect
evasion.
already exists. I said 2024 was the year where it felt like Magic sets were a parody of themselves, and I still feel that with Aether Drift and Edge of Eternities. Edge of Eternities kind of feeling like Infinity Plus out here.
Yeah, because we already got Space Bellerin.
Right?
We don't need more Space Bellerin in our lives.
This is flirting with the conspiracy comics clerk until she gives you Shocklands, uh, the set plus. So Tarkir might be the last bastion of 2025. Good flavor.
I'm guessing they're gonna go 80s action like 80s fantasy action movie kind of deal with how the
Yeah,
logo is looking and the name
because no,
Dragonstorm.
that's true. That fucking logo that doesn't look like actual like the Tarkir we know. It's a little different. So even Tarkir might be a little bit fucky. Watsy, it feels like they want Magic to be everything but itself. Only time will tell if that sells. I'm sure it will at the end of the day. What? Oh,
I think
yeah.
the big difference between podcasts is the last one we left with cautious optimism for the future, and this one
I'm worried
it's
Buckle
a
up.
little bit
for the
more
future.
concern. Yeah, buckle
Buckle.
up. We're going on a magic wacky races.
Yeah,
I hope we get a Dick Dastardly secret lair.
gentlemen. What's your lock of the week for that unannounced Universes Beyond property?
It's a full set, right?
Yeah, full set.
Yeah,
And
last
this
out of the
is
year.
separate from Spider-Man and separate from Marvel.
Yep.
Because Marvel's getting its own,
Yeah.
Spider-Man's getting his own for whatever stupid fucking reason.
Yes. I want your locks. I want to see how wrong we are in 2 years.
I want it to be fantasy adjacent. Is A Song of Ice and Fire still popular enough to
A
make
lot
it?
of people are saying it's going to be Game of Thrones, and it absolutely
Yeah,
is
I've heard Game of
popular
Thrones
enough.
going around.
100% is popular enough because House of the Dragon is currently a thing.
It's still airing, yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna say anything, that's what I think it is most likely going to be.
If that were the case, that might actually be like the most fantasy set to come out this year.
God damn it. Other
Um,
than Final Fantasy.
other than
Even
Final
that.
Fantasy, but Final Fantasy, it goes into cool steampunk shit.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy goes all over the place, which is why I love it. I just
So-
want to throw this out there and gush for just a second, but the cards we've seen are like they're either characters or incredibly specific events happening, like Kefka poisoning the water and Sephiroth in a very specific uh, pose. Um, and so that makes me, as a fan of the series, so fucking excited for all these little specific events they could pull from. That's also going to be my new favorite removal card, Sephiroth diving down. But Rin, do you have a lock for this Universe Beyond set?
Man, I'm gonna go with the Game of Thrones thing just because it feels like the safe choice. I wouldn't know beyond that. It's so hard to tell where they're going with things. Nothing is off the table, which is a very bad thing in my opinion.
Alright,
Because
here,
it could literally be anything. It could be a full SpongeBob set.
here's Kaz's lock of the week. They're doing Secret Lair SpongeBob. They're going to Nickelodeon. We're gonna get an Avatar full set. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That would require Nickelodeon to have faith in Avatar, though. I feel like they
It
chronically want to change it.
They probably don't, but Avatar's doing a bunch of crossovers nowadays. They just did one with
True.
Overwatch as of the time of this recording, or it's still going on, or some shit.
That could potentially be it, yeah.
That's my bet. But it could also be SpongeBob because go fuck yourself. What?
That might
Do we have
that
any
might
more?
be the, that might be the one that gets me. I might call it. I'll
Yeah,
become a Digimon player. Mark my words. If we get a full SpongeBob set,
nice.
I'll buy whatever the newest set of Digimon is, a box of it, and open it for a Thunderclip video.
So is that the Line Boys? Is a full SpongeBob set the too far? Is that the universes beyond that's too far?
We've already
Well,
gone a bit too far, but like,
All right, the Sonic the Hedgehog set,
sounds cool as fuck.
the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic set,
so technically that
Still
already exists.
magic.
the Gash Bell set. I mean, the set.
Okay, honestly, still very magic. Not gonna lie.
It has a
You-
trading card game.
You gotta
already.
pick something fucking stupid like the Sex in the City set or
Yo,
the Friends set.
guys, guys.
Yo, we
The
didn't talk
Mamma
about the
Mia the musical.
we didn't talk about the Frasier Secret Lair.
What?
Oh my god, what the fuck? No, that's a meme, right? That was a meme.
Yeah, that's a meme. That's a meme. Don't worry.
But for a second, all of us thought that was real, though.
Yeah.
I play my commander is Niles.
I'm gonna tap my egg salad and scrambled eggs or whatever it is. It's been a while since I've watched Frasier.
I
salad
don't think I've
scrambled
watched Frasier.
Well, you have your homework before the next Magic podcast. Watch all of
Yeah.
Frasier, and at the next 2 years from now, when we record a Magic podcast talking about how miserable we are,
After we've done
I want a
Frasier
full
Constructed.
recap.
Yeah, but do I have to watch Cheers to understand Frasier? Because I
No.
also haven't watched Cheers.
No, you just have to watch Frasier. I want your feedback on Frasier the next time we talk about Magic the Gathering.
Did they just relaunched Frasier?
You just have to watch the original Frasier.
Okay, so I don't have to watch new Frasier.
I don't know if it's good, so I actually don't know much about if original Frasier's that good. I just know people like it. I remember briefly seeing clips of it, like just on TV in the background.
No, it's coming up in your YouTube Shorts reel.
Okay,
No,
we're the ones completely off the script. I'm bringing us back. I'm yanking us out. I'm
Yeah.
grabbing the candy cane and getting us back on stage. Listen, boys.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Magic may change, but Thunder Club, it stays the same.
For
And
better or for
while
worse.
the future is uncertain, chances are we'll be out there gathering and magicking it up with the boys. I have been your Kaznarious, and with me has been Rin.
Yep.
Sliv.
My name is Frasier, and Urza cucked my wife.
And Godspeed, everybody. See you in 2 years.